back to 5-Minute Fridays. I am just about to start my 5-minute workout for today. We are doing 5 minutes of high intensity interval cardio today. It's going to be super tough, but you don't need any equipment whatsoever to follow along. We are going to be jumping today, but if you can't jump for whatever reason, bad knees, downstairs neighbors, please don't go anywhere because I will also be providing impact-free modifications, and I'm going to do the entire impact-free version of the workout right along with you. So please make sure you watch the tutorial to see those modifications, and then you can do the impact-free version of the workout with me if that is what you need. For the rest of you, get ready. We're going to be doing a lot of jumping today. It's going to be short, obviously only 5 minutes long, but it's going to be really intense and super tough. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. If you are able to jump and you are planning on doing the more intense, more advanced version of the workout, I'm going to start with those exercises, and then after you have seen those, I'm going to show you the impact-free modifications. So there are just 5 different exercises. The first exercise we're doing is side jump lunges. We've done these many times in the past, so if you follow my workouts regularly, you have definitely seen these before. But basically, we're just coming down into a side lunge position, and then we're going to jump and switch the position of our feet. So to get into your side lunge position for this particular exercise, you're just going to extend one leg out to the side, and then the foot that's underneath your hip, you're going to bend that knee so that you are down here in a side lunge position. And I like to tap the ground with my hand, but if you can't reach the ground without rounding your back, then don't worry about touching the ground. The main thing is that you want to be pushing your booty back. You want the weight in the heel of this lunging leg, the leg that's bent, and you want to keep your back flat. So first thing you want to do is think about tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. That's going to help you keep your shoulders back and down, which is going to help elongate your spine so that you can maintain that flat back. So I want you to feel this sensation of your chest feeling lifted nice and high, and you want to maintain that throughout the entire duration of the exercise. So that when you're down here in this side lunge position, you're pushing your booty back. So imagine trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, and at the same time, remember your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted nice and high. So you're trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. And that's how you're going to keep your spine nice and elongated and achieve that flat back that I was talking about earlier. So just remember, flat back, weight in the heel. All right, so this is your starting position. If you cannot come down and tap the ground without rounding your back, then don't worry about tapping the ground. You can tap your knee, okay? Just, you wanna make sure that you're maintaining that flat back, okay? Remember, flat back, weight in the heel. So once you're in your side lunge position to begin, all you're going to do is jump and switch the position of your feet. So I'm going to jump, and I'm going to jump this outside foot in so that it's underneath my hip, and I'm going to jump this foot out so that it's extended to the side. And then I'm going to lunge, come down and tap the ground in front of me, pushing my booty back like I'm trying to touch this gate behind me with my booty, and keeping my chest lifted nice and tall like I'm trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest. Elongating my spine, keeping my back flat, keeping the weight in my heel, and that's it. That's the exercise. Just jump and switch the position of your feet. All right, so that is our first exercise. The next exercise, we're going to be doing a little shuffle step and then kind of a squat variation. I don't know if it would be necessarily considered a squat variation, but we're kind of squatting. So let me just go over the form for a basic air squat just so that you understand the movement of what we're doing, because it does apply to this exercise. So bear with me for just a moment. So for a basic air squat, again, you want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high. Make sure your abs are super strong and tight and engaged. And again, you're going to be pushing your booty back, keeping that chest lifted nice and high, elongating the spine. So you're thinking about trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You want your back flat and you want the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat. Okay, so I don't know if this would really be considered a squat variation, but what I just showed you applies, okay? So I'm going to start standing towards one end of my workout space. And I'm essentially going to do a step to the side and a squat. And as I squat, I'm going to reach down and tap this opposite toe. So there's also a little bit of an oblique twist. So it's kind of like a side step out squat with an oblique twist. But we're gonna add a little shuffle step, okay? It sounds like a lot. It's not a lot. So starting towards one end of my workout space, I'm just going to shuffle, shuffle, and then this kind of pseudo squat and oblique twist, reach down and tap the toes, and then I'm going to repeat, heading in the other direction. So now I'm standing towards the opposite end of my workout space. Keep a soft bend to the knees, stay low for that shuffle. You're gonna shuffle, shuffle, squat, and tap the toes. Shuffle, shuffle, squat, oblique knee twist, or oblique twist, shuffle, shuffle, squat, shuffle, shuffle, squat, twist and tap the toes, other side. Okay, so 2 shuffles, and then that kind of side step into a squat, oblique twist, tap the toes. All right, it sounds like a lot, but there's a flow to it. It makes sense. It's not a lot. That is our second exercise. Our third exercise is basically just jumping jacks. So there are different ways to do jumping jacks. I think the version we all learned when we were little kids is something like this, right? So I'm going to be doing something very similar to that, but instead of clapping my hands together above me, I'm going to be jumping my feet out and in, out and in. But I'm going to start with my hands to my side like this, but instead of lifting my arms straight up ahead, or straight up above me rather, I'm just going to have them out to the side like this. All right, so I'm going to jump the feet out, and I'm going to just bring my arms up to the side like this so that they're kind of in line with my shoulders. And I look like the Vitruvian man. All right, so then I'm going to bring my hands back down to the side while I jump my feet back in. And then I'm going to jump my feet out and in again, but this time I'm going to lift my arms straight up in front of me. And again, my arms are going to be in line with my shoulders. So this time, always my palms are facing down when my arms are extended. Okay, so I'm going to start with my hands to the side like this. And then for my next rep, I'm just going to bring my hands in front of me, but my palms are touching the front of my legs. And I'm just lifting my hands up straight in front of me like this. So it's going to be arms out to the side, arms out to the front. And then I'm just going to kind of tap my toes, all right? That's 1 rep. So 2 jumping jacks, alternating arms to the side, arms to the front, and then reach down and touch the toes. Jack, jack, toe touch. Jack, jack, toe touch. All right, that's it. If that seems like way too many moving parts for an exercise as simple and basic as jumping jacks, and it's confusing, don't worry about it. Just do any kind of jumping jacks you want. You can do them like this, okay? You can do them like this. You can do them like this. You can alternate arms out to the side and to the front, but just eliminate the toe touch. All right, any kind of jumping jacks you want to do is fine. So for the final 2 exercises of our circuit, you do not need any equipment, but maybe you noticed that I have this towel over here. I had to put it to the side so that it wouldn't be in my way while I was doing my little shuffle steps. But if you have fitness gloves, those will absolutely work. I think fitness gloves are a great investment. So if you're working out on a wood floor or on concrete like I am, a pair of fitness gloves will make these next 2 exercises much more comfortable. If you don't have gloves, an exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal, but if not, just use a towel. Just fold up a towel a couple times. You're just going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath your hands. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you likely will not need anything at all. But if you do have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, go ahead and grab that, or you can use fitness gloves. If you don't have any of that stuff, just grab a towel. Okay, so we're going to be down here in a plank position. So I'm going to place my hands on my towel, and then I'm going to step my feet back so that I'm in a plank position. But I'm going to start with my feet together. So make sure in your plank position that your head is in line with your spine. If you imagine that you are standing with your back to the wall, and then just gently pressing your head into the wall, the back of your head into the wall. This is where you want your head to be, okay? Just perfectly straight up and down in line with your spine. So you want to make sure that you're not allowing your head to droop down like this. You also want to make sure you're not overcorrecting by hyperextending your neck and jutting your chin out. All right, head in line with the spine, and also make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulders. Okay, really spread out all 10 fingers and press the ground away from you. Actively imagine that you are really trying to press the ground away from you so that you're pushing yourself up as high as you can and your shoulders are away from your ears. And you want to keep your back flat, so make sure you're really tightening up your ab muscles and use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. Now, what we're trying to avoid is an arched back, okay? So it's really tempting a lot of times to allow your hips or your belly to kind of droop down towards the mat like this. That's causing an arch in my back. We want a flat back, so you're gonna tighten up your abs, use your ab muscles to lift your hips up high and keep them lifted high. Now, when we're doing our plank jacks, my hips tend to be elevated a little bit like this, and that's fine. As long as your back stays flat, that's fine, and that's probably what's going to end up happening. If you're able to keep your body in one perfectly straight line from your heels to your shoulders, great, all right? But probably I'm gonna end up with my hips slightly elevated. That's fine, as long as your back is flat, all right? But from here, we're starting with our feet together, and this is essentially just like a jumping jack, but from a plank position. Hence the name plank jacks. So you're just going to jump your feet out and in. So starting with the feet together, you're gonna jump your feet out, jump them back in. All right, so your entire core should be firing. All right, I'm really gonna feel that in your core, and that's it. That is our fourth exercise. The fifth and final exercise is everyone's favorite, mountain climbers. So again, we're starting down here in our plank position, but you're going to take one foot and step it in. So you're bending the knee, bringing your knee towards your chest, and from here, all you're going to do is jump and switch the position of your feet. So the leg that's bent is going to straighten, the leg that's straight is going to bend, stepping that foot in, dragging my knee towards my chest, jump and switch the feet, jump and switch. Okay, so I always tap my front foot down, but a lot of people, when they bring this front knee in, they do not tap this foot down. That's an option. You can do your mountain climbers that way if you prefer. So you're just tucking the knee in towards the chest, and this front foot stays off the ground, so it will look like this. After I get this mat off of me, it will look like this, as opposed to what I'm doing, which is this, tapping this front foot. All right, both versions are super tough. Mountain climbers are not fun. I never said they were, but that's what we're doing for the fifth exercise. We just have to do it twice, so we'll get it done. But that's it. That is all 5 exercises. Now, starting again at the top, I want to go through the circuit again and show you your impact-free modifications. So the first exercise was side jump lunges. We're just going to eliminate the jump, okay? So again, your shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. You're going to step one foot out to the side, bend this knee that's underneath your hip, pushing your booty back, trying to touch this gate behind me with my booty, keeping my chest lifted high, trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest so that my spine stays elongated, my back stays flat, and my weight stays in this heel. I'm bending down to tap the ground, but again, only do that if you can do so without rounding your back. If you cannot, come all the way down and tap the ground with a flat back, then just tap your knee, okay? So you can just come here, and then you're just going to step this foot in, step this foot out, and do a lunge on the other side, okay? So just stepping one foot out, bending the knee that's underneath your hip, coming down into your lunge, and then switching the position of your feet. Outside foot steps in, inside foot steps out and lunge. Step in, step out and lunge, step in, step out and lunge. This is a cardio workout, so you want to really keep the pace up, okay? You're going to do that as quickly as you can with good form. And that is your impact-free modification for the first exercise. The second exercise was our shuffle, shuffle, squat. All right, so again, remember for your squat, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, you're pushing your booty back, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels as you sink down into that squat. So instead of doing our little shuffle, we're just going to do a duck under. All right, so I'm still going to start towards one end of my space. And I'm just going to imagine that there is an obstacle here that I need to duck under. All right, so what I'm going to do is pick up one foot and take a big, wide step to the side. And as I do that, I'm ducking underneath my imaginary obstacle. So you want to try to duck really, really low. Again, you're not rounding your back. Make sure as you're doing this that your back is staying flat. Don't allow your back to round, okay? Always tucking the shoulder blades into the back pockets, keeping that chest lifted high, pushing the booty back, back flat. Weight in the heels as you step to the side, duck underneath your imaginary obstacle. And then you're going to bring that foot in, okay? So duck under, bring this foot over to the other side, and then you're going to step to the side and do your squat with an oblique twist, coming down to tap this toe. Again, if you cannot tap the toe without rounding your back, you'll tap your knee, okay? So just make sure your back stays flat, make sure the weight stays in your heel, all right? So then you're on this, towards this side of your exercise space. So with the next rep, we're going to travel back in the opposite direction, all right? So picking up this foot, taking a big step to the side, ducking underneath your imaginary obstacle, keeping your back flat, keeping your weight in the heels. Now traveling in the same direction, you're gonna pick up this foot again, step to the side, push that booty back as you sink down into your squat, and twist your body thoracically. Tap your toe if you can do so without rounding your back. If not, tap your knee, all right? And then step the feet together. Duck under, step the feet together, traveling to the same side, take a step to the side, squat, tap the toe or the knee, just keep your back flat and keep the weight in your heel, then bring the feet together. Duck under, squat with an oblique twist. Duck under, squat. All right, again, this is a cardio workout, so keep the pace up as much as you can. Just don't sacrifice your form for speed. The next exercise was jumping jacks. So let's just focus on the lower body because really you can do this any way you want. But the main idea is that instead of jumping your feet out and in like we do for a jumping jack, if we're eliminating the jumping, then we're just going to step the feet out and in, stepping out one foot at a time, okay? So step the foot out, step it in, step it out, step it in. So when I do a jumping jack and I'm jumping my feet apart, I'm landing so that both of my feet are flat on the ground. But when you're doing this impact-free modification, the leg that's extended to the side, you're just going to have your toes on the ground, okay? But other than that, your legs are doing the exact same thing, but instead of jumping them at the same time, you're just stepping them one at a time, okay? So now whatever you want to do with your upper body is fine. I was doing this and this with my upper body. So you can do that if you would like. As you're stepping this foot out, you can lift the other arm to the side, repeat that, and then you can do it to the front if you want, okay? So whatever you want to be doing with your arms is fine. You can do the same thing each time. You can bring your arms up over your head. You can throw your arm across your body, kind of like that, right? Makes it flow a little better, and I think that it kind of gives it a little more oomph. So maybe I'll do that. And then I was adding this toe touch. So you can do that if you want, okay? You can just stay, you can stay here if you want, and just do this for the entire work interval, and that absolutely works. Or you can do step, step, toe touch, step, step, toe touch. That'll be a little bit more similar to what I'm doing, okay? So that's your option, but that is your impact-free modification for exercise number 3, which is our jumping jack variation. So now grab your exercise mat or your towel, and I'm going to show you your modifications for the final 2 exercises down here in your plank position. So plank jacks is going to be basically the same modification. So you're going to come up into your plank position. Again, make sure your head's in line with your spine. Make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulders. Press the ground away from you. Abs are super strong and tight and engaged. You're using your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. Your back is flat. Do not allow your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat like this, causing an arch in your back. Lift your hips high. Make sure your back stays flat. If your hips are slightly elevated, that's okay, because your back is still flat, okay? So don't worry about it too much if your hips are just a little bit elevated. Just make sure that your hips or your belly are not drooping down towards the mat, causing an arch in your back. Starting with your feet together, and you're just going to step one foot out to the side, and then bring it back to the center. Step the other foot out to the side, bring it back to the center. So the same thing as our plank jacks that I showed you the first time we went through the circuit. But again, instead of jumping your feet out at the same time and jumping them back in at the same time, you're just stepping them out to the side and back in one at a time, okay? Super simple modification. And for your mountain climbers, you're just going to do knee tucks. So again, head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, flat back. Coming up into your plank position to start, and then you're going to tuck one knee in towards your chest, and then instead of jumping to switch the position, you're just going to step this foot back, return to your plank position, and then tuck the other knee in. So tuck the knee, straighten the leg. Tuck the other knee in towards the chest, straighten the leg. All right, so those are going to be your impact-free mountain climbers, and that's it. That's all 5 exercises with all 5 impact-free modifications. So now here's the format. Starting with your impact-free version of the workout, I'm going to assume that if you are doing the impact-free modifications, that you might be a beginner. So the intervals that we're doing for the more advanced version of the workout might be too intense for you. So the format is going to be mostly the same for both versions of the workout, but for the impact-free version, I'm going to give you longer rest intervals and shorter work intervals just to make it a little bit more manageable, okay? So you have your impact-free circuit. You're going to set your timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 10 rounds, which means we're going to go through the entire circuit twice, and that's your 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to do the workout with you, so all you have to do is follow along with me. You can use my timer. If you plan on going to do the workout on your own and you're not going to be working out along with the video, then that's how you're going to set your timer, okay? 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals times 10 rounds. You'll go through the circuit twice. So that's one more piece of equipment that you may need for this workout is an interval timer. But I broke my interval timer, so I just downloaded a free app on my phone. So you can always just download a free interval timer app on your phone. You really don't need any equipment for this. And again, if you're working out along with the video, just use my timer. But that is the format for our impact-free version of the workout. For the more advanced version of the workout, I'm going to make it even more difficult, all right? By just tweaking the intervals slightly. So for the more advanced, full impact version of the workout, it's going to be super, super tough. We're on 5-second rest intervals and 25-second work intervals times 10 rounds. So again, we will go through the entire circuit twice, but with essentially no rest. It is going to be an incredibly difficult 5 minutes. So do your best, and if you already know that's going to be too intense for you, you can just keep your timer set for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 10 rounds. But since it's such a short workout today, I wanted it to be as difficult and as intense as possible, so I decided to make the intervals 5 seconds rest and 25 seconds work times 10 rounds. All right, so you make the decision that is best for you. But that is the format for both versions of the workout. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. And I'm going to do both versions of the workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions. But then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing, any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications, I'm right here to help. So please just ask. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. This is a super short workout, so we want to really execute every single rep flawlessly so that we get the absolute most we can out of this 5 minutes. All right, so please make sure that you are going at your own pace, work to your own level. Do not push your body into doing anything it is not ready to do. The goal is to go as hard as you can. But if you need to pause and rest during a work interval, that is what you should do, okay? You want to make sure that you're not going so fast and pushing yourself so hard that your form starts to get sloppy, because I don't want anyone getting hurt. All right, so mind your form and make sure you're not sacrificing your form for speed, and especially if you're working out along with the video, please make extra sure that you are working to your own level and going at your own pace. Please just be smart, be safe, use your common sense, listen to your body, and make the decision that is best for you. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start this workout, go ahead and throw on a pair of fitness gloves if you have them. If not, if you are working out on concrete like I am, or on a wood floor, you may be more comfortable with something soft beneath your hands for the final 2 exercises. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, you can just grab a towel like the one I'm using, and then pause the video, go get dressed. Meet me right back here. We are going to start by doing a quick 5-minute warm-up together, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our impact-free version of the workout. And then if you want to stick around and try the more advanced version, I will be doing our more intense, full impact, high intensity version of the workout right after that. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure you're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. This arm should be completely relaxed, so that you're really just allowing gravity to do all the work of just gently stretching the other side of your neck. And now we're going to switch sides, so let go with your hand, allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder, place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Your arm is completely relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed, make sure they're down away from your ears and not creeping up like this. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to start by allowing your chin to just fall towards your chest, and then to the other shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. Make sure your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll. And with each roll, you're expanding your range of motion, allowing your entire torso to just fall down in front of you. Next, we're doing shoulder rolls. So just rolling the shoulders back. Make sure you're making those circles as big as you can. Really explore your full range of motion here. Next, we're going to do arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So you're going to begin by extending your arms out to the side and making small circles, But gradually as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you're making the circles as big as you possibly can. Again, just really exploring your full range of motion. Now step your feet out so that they're wider than shoulder width apart. Bend your knees and sweep your hands down in front of you. And as you straighten the knees, you're reaching up as high as you can towards the sky. Each time you bend your knees, you want to start expanding your range of motion just a little bit, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. We're gonna lunge side to side, nice and easy, adding the arms. So with each lunge, you're reaching across your body like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're just going to march. So you're going to step your feet in and march, keeping your knees low at first, but gradually you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. Next, we're gonna do the same thing with a jog. If you need to keep it no impact, stay right here and keep marching. If you're able to jog with me, we're doing a nice light jog, starting with the knees low. And then slowly you're going to start driving your knees up, higher and higher towards your chest, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can. And now booty kicks. So with each step, you're bringing your foot behind you, trying to kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. For this next one, you may need to hold onto a chair or the wall for support. If not, you can have your hands on your hips. You're going to transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and easy. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to put this foot down, transfer your weight again, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Again, you can start low, and then gradually start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now we're going to switch legs again. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight, take the other leg, extend it straight out in front of you, and then just draw a little semicircle with your foot, bringing that leg around and behind you. And each time you make that semicircle, you're lifting your leg higher and higher. And then finally, you can drive your knee up in front of you for a hip circle. Other side, so extend the opposite leg out in front, make a semicircle, drawing that leg around and behind you, lifting the leg higher and higher each time. And then for these last two, we're gonna drive the knee up. Use your hand to kind of guide the knee around for a hip circle. And finally, a quick hamstring stretch. I'm using this post just to make getting into the stretch a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more accessible. You want to try to keep your back as flat as possible so that you really isolate those hamstrings. And that's it. That's our 5-minute warm-up. So let's get right into this beginner/impact-free version of the workout. For this version of the workout, we are on 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals times 10 rounds. That's our 5 minutes. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is a 10-second rest interval, just so we don't lose anything off of our first work interval. We're starting with side lunges. So shoulders back and down, chest is lifted high. Push that booty back as you step the foot to the side and sink down into your lunge. Come down and tap the ground in front of you if you can. Only if you can do so without rounding your back, okay? Keep your back flat. Keep the weight in the heel of this lunging leg. If you can't tap the ground, just come here and tap your knee. That's fine. Next is our duck under. So there's an imaginary obstacle here. We're going to duck under it, and then we're going to do a squat with an oblique twist. So duck under, step to the side and squat, and twist. Step this foot back in. Now other direction, duck under, step to the side and squat, duck under, step to the side and squat. So remember again, to keep your back flat and keep the weight in your heel as you sink down into that squat. Now it's our impact-free jumping jacks. So instead of the jumping the feet out and in, you're just going to step one foot out at a time. And as you step that foot out to the side, you're just taking your arm and throwing it across your body. If you want, you can add a little toe touch. That's going to be more similar to what we're doing once we get to the more advanced version of the workout. So now for the final two exercises, this is where you're going to want something soft beneath you. We're doing plank jacks. So coming into your plank position, starting with your feet together, and you're just going to step one foot at a time out to the side. Make sure your head is in line with your spine. Make sure your shoulders are away from the ears. Push the ground away from you. Rest for 10. Last but not least is mountain climbers. So we're going to be coming back up into our plank position. And now you're going to tuck one knee at a time in towards the chest. Keep your abs tight. Keep those hips lifted high. Make sure your back stays flat. You're not allowing your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat, causing an arch in your back. And that's it. That's our circuit of 5 exercises. We're going to repeat the entire circuit one more time, starting over with our side lunges. So now you've seen everything once. Let's try to pick up the pace a little bit, okay? So here I'm touching my knee. If you are able to come all the way down and touch the ground while maintaining that flat back, you can do that. If not, you're right here. Rest for 10. Next is duck under, and then a squat with an oblique twist. Trying to pick up the pace in this second round so that we get the heart rate up. This is a cardio workout, so you want to keep moving as quickly as you can. Just make sure you're working to your own level, go at your own pace, and make sure you're not sacrificing your form for speed, all right? Next is our non-jumping jacks. So stepping one foot out to the side, and I'm adding this little toe touch this time. You can eliminate the toe touch and just stick with what we did the first time through the circuit. That's your option. Step and reach, touch the toes. All right, last 2 exercises, plank jacks and mountain climbers. So grab an exercise mat or a towel so you have something soft beneath your hands. Fitness gloves also work great if you happen to have a pair of fitness gloves. And keeping the pace up as much as you can without sacrificing your form. Rest. Just one exercise left. This is our final 20 seconds, so let's really push. Mountain climbers, here we go. As fast as you can without sacrificing your form. Don't let your head drop down like this. Make sure you're keeping your head in line with your spine. Don't sink into your shoulders. You don't want your shoulders shrugged up by your ears. Press the ground away from you. Keep the abs tight. And that's it. That's our 5 minutes. We did it. Nicely done. We are not quite finished yet. Remember that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. If you are a beginner, let me walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. You're going to start by standing in the middle of your exercise mat or your towel. You're going to bend down and place your hands flat on the floor in front of you. Now step your feet back so that you're in a plank position. Knees down for your push-up if you want to include a push-up. Come back up into your plank, step the feet in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can, and if you want and you're able to, you can add a little jump. All right, with that, this beginner / impact free version of the workout is now officially complete. So if you are an absolute beginner and you managed to hang in there with me for the entire 5 minutes, nicely done. If you feel like you are ready to take it to the next level and challenge yourself a little more, you're welcome to stick around and try the more advanced version of the workout with me. If not, just use the chapter markers to skip ahead to the cool down. It's really important that you take a few minutes to cool down after the workout, and then please make sure that you're taking time to stretch before moving on with the rest of your day. If you are doing the more advanced version of the workout with me, that is next. So for this more advanced version of the workout, we are going to be increasing the difficulty by making each exercise more intense and also by making our rest intervals shorter and our work intervals longer. So for this more advanced version of the workout, we are on 5-second rest intervals and 25-second work intervals times 10 rounds. That's our 5 minutes. We are going to complete our entire circuit of 5 cardio exercises twice. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. We're starting with side jump lunges. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is our rest interval to get ready, but it's just 5 seconds. So go ahead and come down into your side lunge position. I'm gonna jump and switch the position of your feet. Make sure that you are pushing that booty back. You wanna make sure your back stays flat and the weight stays in the heel of this leg that's bent. If you cannot tap the ground without rounding your back, then don't worry about tapping the ground. 5 seconds to rest. Starting towards one side of my workout space, bend the knees. I'm gonna shuffle, shuffle, squat and twist. Shuffle, shuffle, squat, adding that oblique twist, reaching across to tap my foot. But again, make sure that you're not allowing your back to round. So if you can't reach down and tap your foot without rounding your back, then just come here. Next is jumping jacks. So arms to the side, arms to the front, touch the toes. Jack, jack, toe touch. You can eliminate the toe touch if you want and just do jumping jacks, that's fine. Now very quickly, grab your mat or your towel, coming down into a plank position, jumping the feet out and in. Right into mountain climbers. That's our circuit. As quickly as you can. Move the towel. Starting again at the top with side jump lunges. Shuffle, shuffle, squat. Jumping jacks, jack, jack, toe touch. your towel or your mat. Next is plank jacks. Last exercise, not climbers, let's push. That's our 5 minutes, we did it. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go, final rep of the day. With that, this more advanced version of the workout is now officially complete. So amazing job if you managed to hang in there with me for the entire 5 minutes. That was a really tough 5 minutes of HIIT cardio. So now let's go ahead and do a quick 5-minute cool down together. It's really important to just get up immediately after the workout and keep moving, keep the circulation going while you allow your heart rate to normalize and while you allow your breathing to slow down a little bit. So just shake out the arms, shake out the legs. You really can just kind of pace back and forth. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. So just bringing one arm across your body. Use the other arm to pull it in towards your chest to make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed. Make sure the shoulder is completely relaxed. If the muscle's all tensed up and your shoulder's hunched up here by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So if you want to feel the benefits of this stretch, your shoulder has to be nice and relaxed. Shake it out. We'll do the other side. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in. Make sure your straight arm is completely relaxed. Relax the shoulder and just keep kind of either pacing back and forth while you do this, or I always just kind of shift my weight side to side. Just want to make sure you keep moving and keep focusing on your breath. You want to slow down your breathing rate, so focus on taking deep, controlled breaths. Swing out the arms. We're going to do a quick tricep stretch. So bending one elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, feeling that stretch in your triceps. Make sure that this free hand is nice and relaxed. Make sure the fingers are pointing straight down at the ground, so you want to make sure this hand is not hanging out up here somewhere. Relax the arm. Fingers should be pointing straight down. Shake it out. And we'll get the tricep on the other side. So bending the opposite arm, using your elbow or using your hand to just gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Making sure that your free hand is relaxed. Fingers are pointing straight down at the ground. And again, you're focusing on slowing down your breathing. Deep, controlled breaths. Continue to pace around while you do this, or just shift your weight back and forth. Just make sure that you keep moving, keep the circulation going. Let's shake it out one more time. And then we'll do a quick quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you might want to hold on to the wall or a chair for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands, and you're going to press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you do that, make sure that you are tilting your pelvis forward. So you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Imagine sucking your belly button back towards your spine. Continue focusing on your breath, taking long, slow, deep, controlled breaths, okay? Very deliberate with your breathing. Shake out the legs. We're gonna do that quad stretch on the other side. I'll show you from the side so you can see what I'm talking about when I say to tilt your pelvis forward. So bend the opposite knee. Bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands, pressing this heel into your booty cheek. And as you do that, you are tilting your pelvis forward. So you're tucking your booty underneath you and you are trying to touch your spine with your belly button. Continuing to press this heel into your booty. So as soon as you combine those two elements, if you tilt your pelvis forward while pressing your heel into your booty cheek, you're instantly going to feel that stretch intensify in this quad muscle. One more time, shake out the arms, shake out the wrists, shake out the legs, swing the arms a little bit. Couple more deep breaths. If you feel that you are still breathing heavily and your heart rate is still elevated, just take a couple more minutes. Continue to pace around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's great. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you are taking a good 15-20 minutes at least to stretch. Right now, immediately following the workout is going to be the most effective and the most efficient time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. If you do not have time to get your stretching done now, that's fine. You can stretch later on in the day. Just remember that if you put off your stretching until later in the day, that your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you're going to need to take a couple more minutes to warm your muscles up before jumping into your stretching routine, okay? The same way we take 5 minutes to warm up our muscles before we begin the workout. You also want to make sure that you're taking time to make sure your muscles are warm before you begin your stretching routine. Warm muscles are more pliable. So taking the time to warm up before you start stretching is going to reduce the risk that you're going to overstretch or strain something or pull a muscle during your stretching routine. But it's really important to make sure you're taking time to stretch every day. It doesn't matter what you do for your stretching routine, and it doesn't matter what time of day you do your stretching routine, just as long as you're getting it done. Taking the time to stretch every day is going to help to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury during a future workout because you are training your muscles to be generally more pliable and more flexible. You're increasing your range of motion, and also you are going to improve your flexibility and your mobility if you take the time to stretch every day. So it's really important that you don't skip your stretching. But that's it, that's our little cool down, and that's all I have for you today. Just keep in mind though that this little 5-minute workout we did today can make a great warm-up for a cardio session, like a longer, moderate paced cardio session. So if you wanted to plan a hike for today, or just a long run or a bike ride, or if you want to stay put, you can grab your jump rope and do, a 30-minute jump rope session. If you have an exercise bike or a treadmill, you can hop on one of those for 20 or 30 minutes or more. And this little 5-minute workout can make a great warm-up for something like that. But if this is all you're doing today, that's great too. Even though it's just 5 minutes, remember it's always better to do something than nothing. It's better to get your heart rate up for 5 minutes than to not get your heart rate up at all. It's better to do these few reps than to not do any reps at all. So if you have absolutely no time for a workout today, but you managed to set aside 5 minutes just to squeeze in this quick little HIIT cardio session, amazing job. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this little 5-minute workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, especially since the two different versions of the workout had slightly different formats, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications, I am right here to help, so please just ask. If you enjoy these little 5-minute workouts and you would like to see more of them, please remember that I have an entire playlist of 5-minute workouts on my channel. I will link it right there, and we will be continuing to do these 5-minute Fridays every week for the foreseeable future, so that means that I will be continuing to bring you at least one new 5-minute workout a week every week for the foreseeable future. That is going to do it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you all right back here on Monday. Bye.